I'm early. We're live. We got an interesting one tonight. A lot of topics. I need your support. If you would be so kind, is to thumbs up this video because I've decided to talk. I decided to stand by Kevin Smith, which is hard to do. I actually am going to do a separate video. Telling the truth loses you subs. Now, I'm not saying that people are exactly lying, but they dance around the truth to keep subs to flow in the algorithm. You know, not bite the hand that feeds you. To tell the truth in geek culture costs you subs. Cost you viewers, supporters. It's just the way it is. People are so tribalistic now in nerd culture too. And then in the same day, I decided to criticize a Snyder Cut fans, certain group of Snyder Cut fans. So go check out that video. I am enjoying doing separate videos. We may have some guests tonight. I may have someone that disagrees with me about Tila and Masters of the Universe. Let me get to the chat. Hopefully I have some friends pop in. I don't know. That's my dog ruining the effect of the green screen. Thanks, Callie. Thank you so much. Oh, you really messed it up, Callie. All right. Oh, no. All right, sorry. Let's get to the chat, and then we'll get to the main topic. I'm going to do a clip out about Tila versus Tila. Okay, North Star, Kenshiro, Jeremy, Rotten Tomatoes was right about Man of Steel and BVS, but not Captain Marvel or Masters of the Universe. I will say, too, it's called Masters of the Universe. It's not called He-Man. I understand He-Man's still a main, but it's expanding the universe. Masters of the Universe. We are also going to go in spoilers for the series. Let me see. Of course, they are praising Rotten Tomatoes because it lines up with their thinking. That goes back to where I don't even have the thumbnail anymore. I deleted it, but exposing, and defending trolls, the Troll King. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Sean, okay, Phoenix Night Flame says, and Sean A may join me. I'm not sure. He wanted to maybe pop in. We'll have to see. Cara Dune is buff as hell. You don't see people complaining about her look. I know. People are disappointed that He-Man was physically on screen as much as they hoped. Okay, but that's going to make his return even more epic, right? If you don't realize he's going to have a major presence in the second part when it comes back. But the other characters got a lot of development, and it's called Masters of the Universe, not just He-Man. Daniel Villarreal. Hey, Daniel. I mean, he did lie about this mega fan on promotional interviews. I don't know about that. I've heard rumors that he says he wasn't much of a fan. I don't like that either. When a creator comes on, it's like kind of dumps on the original property. I don't like that. I don't know if it's accurate though. I'll have to wait and see. I can research it. When he said in the past he was no fan of He-Man. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. That doesn't mean I think he did a bad job. I think he did an amazing job. Now, I am not a He-Man super fan, although I do have the 2002 sought-after DVD series of the whole series. I didn't watch it all. I'm tempted. I want to go back and watch it now, though. North Star, Kenshiro, bruh. The quarter pounder in EVS called Cara Dune and Mary Sue. I remember that. I criticized them. I stand with Kevin Smith, George says. So do I. Yes, I have a real issue with so much disrespect to creators that create our entertainment. You better have a good reason to really go hard at a creator. Matt Jarbo says thumbs up. I don't know why. Oh, wow, the chat just jumped. Hey, Black Angus, if you want to come on in Snowdub, Reman. Okay, let me see if Angus is available. Because Angus, here is Sean A. I don't know Sean that well. I've had good interactions with him on Twitter. I just ask anyone new to the show to please, keep the language to a minimum because I want to keep my streams monetized. But I'll invite Sean on to see what he has to say. Hey, Sean.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello? I hope I can.
Okay. We can hear you.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too. Thank you for joining the show. We're talking about He-Man. If you want to say anything else, I know you've mentioned you might want to pop in on the show in the past. If there's anything that you want to bring up, I know we kind of found each other out. I found you found me based on the Zack Snyder disaster with Geeks and Gamers. And some of the, you were not, I don't want to speak for you, but I remember you were not cool with some of the way people went after Zack after that event, I believe, if I remember correctly. Did you?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You go. Very nervous. Apologies.
Oh, no. There's no reason to be nervous here. I only go mad at people when there's a reason to, but we've had good interactions. I know I also was interested to have you on the show because I think you kind of slightly disagree with me on the main topic about Masters of the Universe. So if we could have a slight, little debate on the quality of the show and the reasons. We're going to go on the spoilers if you want, viewers. So what's your overall thoughts on the series? You're not that, I don't want to speak for you again, but from what I gather, you're not too happy with the show so far.
Well, I will say this, I'm not coming in as if I am a He-Man fanboy.
Okay.
But everything that's been happening so far with our entertainment industry is just, the way that they're just changing, our expectations of the show. It seems to be a pattern. It's just a pattern, of course. And I guess I'm just trying to just figure out, why are they doing this? Why are they just changing things from a different, perspective? First of all, I have, beloved franchises that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Many shows, where do you even go on? Well, overall, I mean, rather it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe and where they've been going about it. Shows, thankfully, like Castlevania, that actually has been a safe haven of entertainment that I believe everyone can enjoy. But I don't mean to spin the conversation.
No. I appreciate. No, it's not out of control. I appreciate that. That's a lot. You represent a lot of fans. What they're saying. I don't like when you change my character in an unexpected way if it doesn't work, or potentially for possible agenda, or I mean, even as far as I know, a lot of the talking points are for social justice reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. Exactly.
All right.
It's just and then when I've started hearing about these patterns, it really kind of started with people like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and the community, Arcade, Ryan, that Star Wars girl, World Class BS, Doomcock. These are the people that I sort of discovered, and they talked about these topics, and they definitely aligned with what I was what I was saying, and I felt like they were like the real. They were the real entertainment. They were what in the entertainment industry would call them as the hate media, which I stood by them, I supported them. I wanted to get involved as much as I could, and and I thought it was going pretty well, for them. They were going on a good start, and and then leading to the whole debacle with the Snyder situation is what really made me realize what was really happening was going on.
It was Sean. It was my worst fears come to fruition. Is that when I started criticizing, and if some don't know, I was friendly with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers at the beginning.
Yes.
But my worst fears came to fruition that we become less critical and more just hating on everything, looking for reasons to hate, searching out. Oh, Black Angus is here too. He's a friend. So I don't want to surprise you with anyone, but he is a Fandom Menacer. So, but he's critical of them as well. He's critical of them as well.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Black Angus. I honestly don't know how Angus is feeling about the new Masters of the Universe either. This is still a surprise. You're mad?
No. I miss your old videos with the intensity. What's up, Max?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. I wanted to have an interesting discussion. Listen, I think. Well, Sean is also a follower of a lot of these YouTubers. He felt that they.
Not anymore. I'm done with them.
I'm
done with them. Yeah. I left them.
To bring you up to speed, Angus, he really did not like the whining that happened after the Zack Snyder says I'm not associated with you. The way they reacted.
Check out my video then, because I think I gave a pretty fair take.
Okay.
Lethal Lightning agrees with my video.
All right.
I mean, it's got a catchy thumbnail to, I kind of play on the trigger.
Be careful, Sean. If you go my route or Angus, Angus is also Angus is one of the most unique YouTubers on here because he still calls himself a Fandom Menacer, but he's critical of him, and that's why they don't talk to him. I'll be honest with you, Angus.
I can see why.
Andy invites me on all the time, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually started to discover Saggy Melon. Shout out to her.
Yes.
I also follow her on Twitter as well. She's a very decent woman.
Yes, she tries to be fair.
Yes, I had some conversations with her on YouTube. Just about the He-Man situation.
She'll talk to anybody. She wants to have conversations. All right, so let's get Sean A and Angus's view. I also Angus is fresh in here. What's your view on the new Masters of the Universe?
I'm conflicted because I definitely think it was a purposeful misdirect. Because for being honest, if you say, "Hey, there's a new Masters of the Universe thing coming out," like sure,
Masters, not
no, I get that. You have the cop out for the title where it's not title character then the company. I get that, but the whole hype for that show is unless you instantly sold it as like, yeah, He-Man's like not really in the picture or following everyone else. It's kind of a misnomer. People hear that title, they're still thinking He-Man. It's not like Marvel where you're like, hey, a new Marvel ensemble. It could be anything. It could be any character. It could be any iteration. Even Avengers. Ant-Man is a main Avenger from the original series in the 60s, but it took a while to get him in the actual films because he's more obscure nowadays. But I do see the lie narrative about that, but then on the same instance, I wonder.
He didn't lie. He was doing his best to deal with a leak. I mean, people
I get that.
Where I'm extremely critical of Fandom Menacers is they only leak shit that's an opposing view. Talk about you don't like my opinions. I'll only leak shit from creators that are SJWs. They don't do that for Gina Carano. Do you see them leaking the Ben Shapiro Gina Carano next film that's way far out? No, they're not going to leak that shit. So I have their intentions are to leak to damage. So that's a whole other category than scooper websites that are positive towards leaks. Oh, look at this next Batman suit,
Yeah, no, I don't discredit that, but my whole thing is the other half of this, that trying to be objective and not being a He-Man fan. I didn't grow up with He-Man. It was something that by the time I guess Cartoon Network cartoon was coming out, I was watching Nickelodeon, so I wasn't really into that. But part of me thinks that, you know, like you said, dealing with leaks and stuff, and have to misster it, that there is kind of a Hulk Infinity War kind of thing with this, when it's like,
Okay.
oh crap, they're kind of spot on with key points. I gotta like totally deflect. So, you know, I can't really blame them for that either, where it's like trying to like maintain some mystery to the plot, so you actually watch it and not be like, oh, now it's ruined, you know. So I don't know. I think, you know, I sent it to you, I sent it to the guy in the chat, Geeks Enjoy or whatever, on Twitter, in the DM. There's that clip from his comic show on Amazon where he says something kind of offhand. He's like, I'm no He-Man fan, but you know, everyone likes this or that, you know.
No, I
don't think
like
it's
Kevin
as big
Smith.
a deal as people
Yeah.
are making it, that he kind of
Right,
just
right.
like said that because He-Man's obscure for DC, you know.
Right.
But
no, I don't like when people come on the projects and you know, and like downplay the original property's relevance.
Yeah, they
you know.
half-assed the work. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
All right, but let's get to the meat and potatoes. The main concern, not my Tila. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion. Now, do you? Okay, no. Let's really, you know.
Woo!
She does. Which Tila you would be okay? Which Tila is versus Tila? We're gonna do a clip out of this. Oh, that's Shera. Damn it! I googled Tila.
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Shera's suit.
Well, let's imagine this is Tila. Oh, my cred went out the window. Maybe I was distracted while I was googling. But let's have an honest discussion about characters and what it does for the story. Because like does her changing her character the way she looks make sense for the story? And she does have one of the most different changes from her original character.
Yeah, can I interject real quick and give an example?
Yes.
So like, you know, it's typical in comics, in media right now, that this look goes with a certain narrative or conveyance, whatever you want to say. But if you've ever read Contract with God, this is a very influential book for Frank Miller, guy who made Dark Knight Returns in 300. He credited this for like a foundational comic for himself. And in that book, the first of the trilogy, it's about a immigrant rabbi who comes to New York. He has a daughter, and then she dies, and so he kind of loses his faith. Now, in the Jewish custom, there's this thing where in your time of grieving as a man, you like don't shave. And then like after either a certain time period that's allotted or personally you choose, I'm not sure exactly, you shave to kind of like show a passing of like your mental state. And so there can be something said about her look as that, where it's like, all right, she's in a new era of her life. So I don't know. You know, there's kind of obvious things that people harp on.
She went through a major experience because I believe her and either Adam or He-Man has had a relationship, so she's in grieving. She also needs to step up her. Now, people say she's unlikable. I think they mean unlikable because they can't see the curves under that outfit. Really, I think that's where they're taking. Is she unattractive? No, I think she's still very attractive.
Yeah, she's attractive, but she is kind of unlikable.
But like, why is she unlikable?
She's not a character. Like the way they develop her in the show, it's not.
Is she dealing
obvious,
with
like
the most
stomp on men? But
no, she didn't do that at all. They still honored the people that are gone. She has a major issue with Adam and He-Man because he didn't tell her, and she had feelings, and it messed with her feelings. So does she have a reason to change? That's what I want to ask you. Yes, I think so. But you guys answer. Does she have a reason to change what she's wearing? And being, you know, she's more of a warrior now than she ever was. Even though I'm not saying she wasn't in the past. And she's grieving and she's changing. And does she have a reason to?
Well, you know, I would say that, you know, look, these changes would have been nice if this was probably like much later in the series, at least as in my opinion. You know, I don't think that maybe he would, you know, suddenly just kill off a beloved character, since this is
Well,
the He-Man and the
to be
Master
fair,
Universe. I mean,
it is called Revelations. This is supposed to be like This is like to be like Endgame type stuff for this universe. Really, really go deep in on the characters, and I think more character development than they've ever had. Honestly, even though I haven't watched every episode, I think it's next level to me.
I just like the way that he wanted to approach this. I mean, look, it's been what, roughly 40 years since since the original cartoon. You think that maybe you would give He-Man a lot more spotlight so people can be able to not only remember what he was in the past, but also, catch up to see what's been going on since the last episode, and see what changes have been made from the been made for the rest of the cast, and how their interactions with them have changed, and how they are adapting to the aftermath with Skeletor. And if it led to the point where he ends up, from what I saw from the trailer, him splitting the sword and him being depowered back to Prince Adam, and then suddenly there's this moment of truth, or where Tila's discovering the whole thing, and she gets upset, then it made more sense. But it's just that it seems like the idea was for her to just make it about her as much as possible. But I digress. I mean, if Black Angus
no, you're right. It did focus on her a lot. I think it developed her character more than the last old series did. But I also want to get to Darth Daddy Lunga's comment, which is kind of interesting, and I'm going to tie this back to the Ray Fisher thing too, and the stigma about women and black men. And I believe I do have 2 black men on the show right now, so I don't want to overstep my boundaries.
Black, so
no. I don't want. I don't want to speak for anyone. But I'm saying there's a stigma and a stereotype in entertainment, and this is not just like, for example, Ray Fisher. They said we don't want an angry black man. That's why they cut out a lot of the scenes from the original Snyder cut, and then. If a woman deals with something, or she changes her outfit, she's unlikable, or she's this or that. So I wanted to get your opinion on that. Maybe Angus, if you want to start. There is still a stereotype in entertainment, and a lot of people react to. They may not admit this. They just say unlikable. My opinion of their interpretation is unlikable. We can't see her curves. She changed her hair and she's brooding. Does she have a reason to brood? If she has no reason to brood, then I could say, okay, let's examine that. Why is she so salty right now? Does she have a reason to? Okay, yes, she does. That's why I can go along with it. But do you believe there is a stereotype, Angus, along with black men and women still, where other characters, I'd say, there's a lot of white characters out there. They show a lot of range of emotion, and people don't critique them as much. I don't think so.
I don't know. Like, it's been a while since I, followed that stuff with the Ray Fisher thing. But
me too.
The angry black man.
They did say that. Yeah.
The way I read that was that they didn't want to fall in that trope. Like, that sounded like a positive to me, that he took as some racist thing, when it's like Jeff Johns has written a lot, so he's aware of narratives and stuff. Like, it seemed like he was trying to do something more than that, more than a trope. Some people can interpret that different, but the way I read it was, trying to like give him something beyond that, so. But his anger or his frustrations and stuff in the film made sense. So they just didn't like Snyder, because he's defiling comics. So it's a whole can of worms trying to decipher the Fisher thing with women. I don't know. Besides Captain Marvel, like, I've never really heard this be a problem. I feel it's really churched up.
What did a lot of critics say? Can't you smile more?
Yeah, I've never really heard that, or with the black guy thing, with angry black guy in film. Like, that's never. I don't know. Like, as a kid, my favorite character was.
Here's an example.
I've never watched
in the past
as a like,
Hollywood's shown diversity by having black characters as sidekicks, but whenever they have to deal with something or emotion, we don't want to have angry black men. That's what the executives at WB actually said about Ray Fisher's the footage they saw. with him dealing with the loss of his father in the Snyder Cut, the original one. And that's when they altered his scenes a lot. That was the big that was one of the things that Ray kept saying. It was type of a racist comment, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely have a problem with the Justice Cut just because it's so jumbled and they're trying to work with stuff they already have and repiece a new story around it and shoehorn in scenes.
Here's Cosmic Degen, and I'm going to bring up that Junkman's. You know, I've been loving that Junkman's.
Junkman's funny.
Yeah,
I watched that video.
I didn't even watch it. I've just been watching his tweets today. I've been retweeting his stuff. He says, in the 90s, this was today. It's all of a haircut that makes standing to another female. So that's what makes you a lesbian. But this was the 90s.
I don't know. Even Grace Randolph said, they really tease, like, she's always looking for that, hoping for diversity for diversity's sake. And like that seemed pretty obvious that there is something there between them. Or
should we invite Longa
on one side?
Yeah,
I miss Longa.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been meaning to actually hit him up, rekindle some.
Rekindle. I don't know.
Yeah, rekindle. Used to be cool, and things just went sour. So I see Longa in the chat. I'm like, I kind of miss that guy.
kind of. Okay, that's how I feel. Kind of. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let me find his Twitter. I don't know if he's free.
While you're looking for that, I just want to say it's good chatting with you, Sean.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I'd like to have you on again, and I want difference of opinions, Sean. So I want you to I think that's more interesting. But I honestly think everyone complaining is going to love it when it returns, and He-Man as the center, the focus of the show. It's going to be an epic return. I think how do you make He-Man more interesting is do what Kevin Smith did. Really make it like epic. This is like movie epic. And I think people are going to love it. I'm trying to do two things at once. It's just bad for me. Hold on a second. Send him a message here. Okay. I sent it in case he's available because he knows a lot about He-Man. But do you foresee that you're really going to like the second half, Sean, if it's a big focus on He-Man and it's more epic? I mean, again, spoilers here, but what could be more epic than having the Sword of Power for Skeletor and He-Man having to really develop Adam even more so as a character, making Adam become a hero. And then when he finally gets the Sword of Power and he says that line again, man, is it going to mean something instead of the typical generic old school episode where Skeletor does some shit, the Sword of Power, and He-Man goes wrecks it, and then the episode rolls, and then there's no. It's one like. I just think that's epic.
Well, yeah, I mean, and no, like if you had, I know without a doubt that you guys have a pretty much a strong expectation of where it's going to all conclude in part 2 whenever it's released on Netflix. I just think that the way this was introduced, it's very similar to what we've seen. I don't know if you guys played The Last of Us Part 2, or if you watched any of the Star Wars, the Disney Star Wars trilogy that's been going on in just these past few years. It's like, and then you see a lot of changes when it comes to TV contents and the movies you visit, and it's just you feel like there's a different kind of culture now that we're living in, how they're changing, and it's just there's no place to really get the kind of entertainment that you want.
I mean, this is the major criticism: is He-Man's not in it, and Tila, the way she looks. I
want to see He-Man. Like, I want to see more action.
Who would you take in the battle, though? I know
I'd take them both into bed. I'm not gonna discriminate. I'll take them both into bed. I don't care.
This isn't role play or cosplay. This is a fight in what fits the. No, I know. I'm just saying for the argument. Like that's what I wanted to question. That's what I created, and I got the wrong one.
Right. You got Shera. Yeah.
Yeah. I was distracted. Because I Googled Tila and that came up. I think it just comes up all the time because lots of people Google
Sure,
that one.
Google.
Yeah, I'm on Google.
Hello, everyone. By the way,
Yeah,
hello.
go sub to Darth Daddy Lunga for the Great Council. He frequently disagrees with me. So do most of the people on the panel.
you could also finally unblock my actual Great Council profile, so I don't have to switch to my other one every single time I come to your damn chat.
You know what I did? I unblocked you on Twitter,
I don't care about
and then I you know how I have a hard time. I boomer. I have to find that
YouTube
section.
Studio. You go to YouTube
Okay.
Studio.
All right, let me see.
And you can clear it out right out of there.
Well, I gave this a 10 out of 10. This series,
I'm right there. I'm in the 9s.
Yeah. I just think people are going to completely change their mind once they see the second, and then they'll be apologizing. And he doesn't deserve this, Kevin Smith. He really doesn't.
The one mistake
Well,
that
he deserves
everybody
the
makes,
criticism, but he doesn't deserve the hate.
Right. Criticism's fine. Okay, we can criticize all day. I criticize the Russos for what they did to the Hulk in Infinity War and Endgame. Criticism's fine, but when you start attacking someone and saying, the shit they say about him, the funny thing is, this man has been the core of nerds for ever.
That's why I'm so disgusted. Yeah,
forever, and now because. Oh my God, she has a haircut that triggers people. Let's be honest, the haircut fucking triggers people. Okay?
Right.
It triggers people.
Even though Saggy was right, because Gina Carano does have it in the main.
I said that in the chat too. I said it on my show. Gina Carano has a similar haircut, and she's buff. And then someone in the chat said she's a warrior. Dude, so's Tila. Tila's a fucking warrior. Are you kidding me? What the fuck are you talking about?
When they first showed
Oh my God, look.
Mandalorian, I did expect it to go work with her. I was optimistically surprised by the direction because
at least when I see Cara Dune from the Mandalorian, she looks attractive enough. I mean, with Tila, it's just really they're just gonna cover up.
I mean, you're saying she doesn't look attractive at all.
From the 80s
it's
cartoon.
Not about attractive. It's
all right. You're right.
It
isn't attractiveness.
It's a
just
symbol.
Respecting the franchise.
It's
you're
not
gonna
that.
really lower her femininity, increase more masculinity.
Okay, first of all, let's stop that.
Well, let's be nice.
When people, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
We just make women attractive.
Here's the thing. I hate when people say that by a haircut, saying it's making them less feminine. Because the reason why that is complete nonsense is because men now are deciding what haircut a woman should have to decide if they're feminine or not. That's nonsense. There's plenty of straight conservative women who have short haircuts, okay? And it's because you agree with their politics and a haircut's fine. When it's on, the thing is, when people now, it's a trigger. So when they see the haircut, they automatically think the creator is an SJW. That's what they fucking think the moment they see that haircut. And they're not going to believe anything else after that. That's why it does it. It's not the haircut itself.
This is why we actually need more representation as males. In being in geek culture, we're accustomed to one type of sexiness. We need to be exposed to more. I like all the ladies.
Is it the 1950s? Oh, you should have longer hair. Well, you should have that. What the fuck is? I mean, since when do we start telling women what hair they should have to look feminine, not sexy, feminine?
Now, if we're having a night out, if she's coming back to my place or we're at a cosplay convention, I might say, yeah, wear the original. Don't if we're going into battle, it's a different story.
Here, I mean, if I'm going to talk about my personal attractions, I find longer hair, early shoulder length hair, more attractive. That's my preference, okay? But I'm not going to look at a woman who doesn't have the haircut and go, she looks like a man. That's just nonsense. What makes her a woman? What makes her a woman? Sorry, and I know. Okay, this is going to be inappropriate because then I'm going to have people attacking me and saying, you're a trans exclusionist." But technically, what makes a woman is the fact that she has ovaries, okay, and what she has between her legs, not her fucking hair. All right. Okay. You get what I'm saying, but the hair doesn't determine their femininity. It's
That's funny, Brian.
That is
I've
something.
seen more. It's a Karen haircut.
A lot of Karens it's instead of shaved on the side, it's really short in the back.
Right. And the worst part about it is, guess who else has that? A similar haircut. Me. Oh my God. Guess what? You know how many times I've been called a lesbian? Because I have The haircut. Now here, Angus knows because you know what? Angus has called me a lesbian for the haircut. Now here's the thing.
Wait, I don't think I called you a lesbian for that.
Yeah, on Twitter.
It's possible.
When War Campaign was going after me, you jumped on.
Don't mention it.
I think I probably laughed. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I'm not being bitter, dude. I'm not. I'm joking. But the reality of it is that haircut, if people think back, was a 1930s men's haircut. So it's like, what is it? If she has it, she looks like a man. If I have it, I look like a lesbian. So which one is it? Please inform me. So is no one supposed to have this haircut? Is that the case? No one should have this haircut?
Well,
I know.
I mean, the original design was more like hey, yeah, I get it, but it doesn't fit the story. Does the changes fit the story? And that's where I'm like, okay, it makes sense. She's going through a lot. They also want to visually represent
anyone else's look, though, because I'm not a He-Man fan.
She was going through the most in this arc.
Sure, no, I'm saying, but with this, just because it's topic, have they changed anyone else? I'm asking like the panel because I don't know.
Not so much. No.
That's why people talk about it, because it's like no one else has changed, but then you drastically change her.
Yeah, she has. She has stepped out of the background. And she has become more of a main character. I would say that not replacing He-Man, but equals He-Man in this series, which is called Masters of the Universe, not Masters. Right. And even that could even mean
not only that, the original
Skeletor.
cartoon was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. They're all Masters of the Universe. People don't understand the lore. And I said this in the chat. I don't know if anyone saw it, but let's be honest here. And I'm not saying this to slam on you, Angus, or Sean, because you guys said you're not really He-Man fans. But when people's preface, most of the people, not all, some are fans and saying they don't like it. But there's a lot of people who say they don't like it. They all start with, well, I'm not really a He-Man fan, or I was never really watched it, but, and then they go into why the show sucks, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's think back to The Last Jedi. If you had someone who loved The Last Jedi say, listen, I wasn't really a Star Wars fan, but this movie was great because, was anyone going to take their opinion seriously?
In that vacuum, I would, yeah. Like, it's like, okay, but if they
a Last Jedi defender who would never like Star Wars, you're gonna say, okay, sure, get out of here.
no, you're saying like, well, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but blah blah blah. It's like in that context, sure, I can get that. But if you see like the lore, then like I'd have an argument with you. Sure.
Right. Well, one of the biggest things I've seen online when The Last Jedi was coming out was these people aren't even Star Wars fans. They're not even Star Wars fans. True. They don't even. Well, a lot of these people aren't He-Man fans, and they're fighting it because it's a culture war thing, not because they're He-Man fans. It's literally the same thing reversed. It's on the other side now, and this is why I've always said that a lot of these big culture warriors on the right are just SJWs on the right.
Right.
It's the same thing.
And Rotten Tomatoes is not organic, the user reviews. It's become a cultural war battlefield when it's stuff that people could just review. They might not even watch it. That's where they go to prove a point for a narrative. I was going to do a video on it. I researched I didn't research all of them, but I went to look at the half stars and go and look, and most of them only reviewed cultural war movies and products like Last Jedi. That's all they review. They only review stuff to prove a point. Half star. I mean, that's not organic. That's going in for your points. And when they get pointed at by like Jeremy, that they defend the mob. Let's be honest, to go do the mob downvotes. These do not get the same natural organic reviews that you'll see like 10 times as many user reviews for stuff that's covered by the influencers on YouTube trying to get their points in. It's not organic at all. It's a big joke.
I absolutely agree. And even after the whole situation on their actor stream, it really made me just so disappointed how the fact he's brainwashed his followers into thinking that he's the victim in all of this, that he's the one, that Snyder's the one who's, labeling them as a hate mob when that wasn't even the case. But then
that was not it
just a few seconds after he appeared on the stream, he literally just said, "Hey, just like the movie, there's no room to spread hate here. We're all here together, just trying to build a cause." And then somehow, like, what are you doing? Where is this coming from? And then he's in and even in during the after stream, he generated over roughly $3,000. And I did see his Jeremy's tweet where Monday Matt was calling him out, and Jeremy stated that they all went to donation, but where's the receipt?
Oh. Well, Lunga, just so you know, Sean first contacted me after that debacle with Zach. He still was really upset the way they reacted to Zach after.
Oh, it was it was a shit show. That was stupid as hell.
Wow.
That was,
and then he totally gripped off of the whole false accusations. Like, wow, it's just like
it was
and
embarrassing.
They're still doing it till today, and they're still doing it today. They're taking advantage of this controversy with Kevin Smith and just to monetize.
The guy is finally getting his movie out. Do you think they thought he was Gina Carano? Do you think he was going to sabotage his career for a fucking, no offense, shit little channel? Here, to us, our sizes, they're way bigger than us, right? Obviously, cool. But you know what? Compared to Zack Snyder, they're nothing. Okay, let's just be fair. They are a small little channel, and that's what got him angry. Oh, we're nothing to them. Sorry, it's the truth. You're a little fucking YouTuber, dude. In 10 years, no one's going to remember you. No one's going to remember any of us in 10 years. It's YouTube. But the reality is he's not going to sabotage and tank his career after he just finally got his cut up there by agreeing with their hot takes. Sorry. I mean, if he was on a far left side YouTube channel that was like completely like slamming, saying men should be castrated, or do you think he was going to say, yeah, I agree with you guys? No, he said the same thing. Listen, I'm not affiliated with this channel. I'm just here for an interview. Yeah. Come on, dude.
I think it was just some corporate thing, like, hey, like, just disclose this when you start, to kind of dissociate or whatever.
There could have been legal things too.
I mean, exactly. It's like he's still under contract going on this like PR route through YouTube, given that like cons and stuff aren't going on with Corona.
Warner Brothers could even have said it.
I really think he was told to
from
say
the
it.
Film. He had to say it because they had him on the auction site. That was the reason.
I think that, and then also the auction site issue that
could have been his lawyers, could have been his agent,
but
a million people.
And you just regardless how you feel about it, you just had that shooting in Georgia, and so that's like fresh on the mind. His daughter was Asian, he's got Asian kids, so it's all of that in combination. It was just a quick blurb, probably corporate crap to say for his movie, legal stuff, and that was it. You're here the takeaway for haters, that's why I said in my video, could have been $100K for charity with Zack Snyder, and that would have been a huge layup. But they had to run with the drama, and that undercuts anything good that they did.
They're so wrapped up in the culture where they don't even know what's happening in real life, because at that time, anyone that with like normal sense that follows the news knows that there was a bad event towards Asian women at massage parlors. They were targeted, and that's why it was timely to say that and accurate. And once that people told them that too, and they didn't respond in kind and like, oh, okay, I kind of see now why it was a topic of conversation. His daughter that died was Asian. There was some Asian hate in the news like the day before. There's lots of reasons to bring it up. That's why it's so disappointing that people can't understand reason.
You when you brought me in, you did say that I know a little bit about the. I'm not going to claim to be a He-Man expert.
I wanted to know,
but I know enough.
Does Skeletor ever get this sort of power in the old series like this, or
not in the cartoon? But I mean, there's been stuff in the comic books, I believe, where there's a comic book cover where he has this sort of power. But even that, let's just go under the assumption he never got it in anything prior, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what? He's a bad guy. Sometimes bad guys win. That was his goal. I mean, you want the 80s, complete 80s corniness of where he constantly loses. What made Infinity War and Endgame great was Thanos won.
Yes. Right.
Okay. He won.
At least the ending there made sense. I mean, look, in the end, he did win. I appreciate that. I loved it.
Right. And that was a two-parter. This is a three-part. This is going to be a three-part series.
I didn't know it was a three-part.
Yeah. It's a three-part series.
What could be more epic than to strip down He-Man Adam, give Adam even a harder obstacle. He gave up his eternal life.
Right.
He almost died.
It was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice. Is it not the ultimate hero thing? Is to sacrifice yourself? Now you got to look here. If people, I want to ask people, even people, if you completely disagree with me, hey, that's fine, okay. But take off the culture warrior lenses just for a minute, okay, just for a minute, and just hear this out. Kevin Smith has said that this was a direct sequel to the original 80s cartoon. Okay, this is going to pick up right where it left off, meaning it is a continuation. It's like the show's been going on, let's say those 200 episodes, because I saw this meme on Twitter that made me laugh, because they're saying 200 episodes, He-Man protected Grayskull, 5 episodes, Teela loses Grayskull and He-Man dies or some shit like that. Here's the thing. Consider the first episode of this is episode 201. Okay, it's picking up right where that left off. All that history's happened. All that stuff has happened. Now we finally reach a point where He-Man has been fighting him, and he sacrifices in his ultimate battle to stop him from getting inside, because Skeletor finally got inside, which again happened in the other one too. I mean, he did get in a few times. He sacrifices himself. Okay. Teela finds out that she's been lied to this whole time. And there's still another lie, which people aren't remembering, that she's the sorceress's daughter. There's still another lie that everyone is not.
Oh,
I'm telling you, that's going to come to play later, and she's going to get even more pissed. Okay?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And in the first series, they made a joke of it. They all were like, yeah, because they all knew and they wouldn't tell her. And they made a joke of it. Okay? So she's always been. Now, just a little off track for a little bit. People who have been references say Teela was not her daughter originally. They retconned that. Okay, hold on. There was an original mini comic that came out before the cartoon. Because remember, just like in the 80s, they were making toys. Okay? And they made cartoons to sell the toys. All right? The first thing they made was a mini comic. And it was really close to Conan the Barbarian, because these toys are supposed to be Conan the Barbarian toys, but they couldn't get the licensing, and people were like worried about too bloody for kids, so they made this whole other world, right? So they made this mini comic to tell the story. Then they started making a cartoon. In the mini comic, she wasn't the sorceress's daughter. Adam wasn't He-Man. He-Man was just his own guy. When they made a cartoon, they changed all that to make it a cartoon. Okay? So when people use that, they retconned it. No, they retconned it in the 80s, bro. Okay? She's always been the sorcerer's daughter since the first cartoon. The mini comic.
No, what are you talking about? Cosmic Satan. Sorry, I didn't.
Now, so think of this as episode 201, right? So he sacrifices himself. Teela completely gets disillusioned that her people she loves and care, her best friend Adam, who I think she really does have a connection with, she kind of likes him. People were worried about how this Adra was going to be like a girlfriend. You could tell it wasn't. Okay, she was a friend.
Even if it was, I wouldn't care.
Right? Yeah. Again, I wouldn't care if it was, but the point is, you can tell she has a link with Adam. Okay, and so her best friend lied to her. Her father lied to her. Everyone around her who knew Orko lied to her. Okay, she was disillusioned and she left. She's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm out of here. And she left, okay? And the whole time, Evil Lynn kept talking about it. You're carrying a torch for someone. You're still worried about someone. Hey, don't go after powerful men, because they were, she was echoing all this stuff. Teela's journey in this was to get Adam back, dude. That was the whole fucking point. He-Man was the central character of this whole show. Just because he was dead, it doesn't mean he wasn't. The magic was gone because he was gone. He was the linchpin to everything.
And it's an interesting. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Have you seen the what do you call it? Killing Joke, the DC animated Killing Joke.
The animated one, it wasn't as good as the comic book, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hard to fucking catch and
right.
Sorry, Max. The cursing, but a lot of people complain about, and I read the comic and then I watched the movie and I'm like, oh, that's cool. They added to it, with Batgirl. They fleshed her out more to make a full length feature film. And a lot of people hated that, and they hated Batman screwing Batgirl, and it's like, well, this makes sense to me.
Oh no.
Nah, that I didn't like.
House frozen over.
I didn't like that. Was very awesome. And it's not about the Killing Joke thing. It's just like it was out of place. It didn't feel right. It didn't even fit in the story. That it felt like it was just shoehorned in.
To a bit, but it made sense.
Wow,
to me, like,
Gina's really liking you, Longo.
Workplace colleagues or what have you. They really they're secluded from society, doing this work for society, so they only really have each other to invest in emotionally. It would make sense that could kindle, but then Batman's like, crap, like this.
It's really an interesting angle to the Teela angle, that she was really effed over in the original series more than most. because no one
She's the
told her anything.
sorceress's daughter. She's the heir as the guardian of Grayskull. When people are complaining about they made her the center of the story, dude, she's always been a center of the freaking story. And you understand? She's going to take over for the sorceress, and that's going to happen in this series. She's not going to become Tira, okay? She's going to become the next heir. She's going to become the sorceress. That's what's going to happen at the end of this, okay? And He-Man will probably still around. Maybe he'll die, and then another guardian will come in because throughout the lore, there's been more than one.
That's
guardian.
true.
It wasn't just He-Man.
Although that
okay?
that would really get people outraged, though.
Yeah, but that's what happens, man.
I know.
You know,
I'm okay with it.
I don't
with
get
it.
the outrage with killing He-Man twice. I'm like, oh, well, it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense.
he's not dead, though. You know he's not
first he sacrificed himself, and then the second time, Skeletor gets the one up on him. I'm like, okay, part 2.
Yeah, but he wasn't dead.
Those are
He
fun.
wasn't
Like,
dead.
oh, that's interesting.
I mean, he was dead at the beginning. Then they had to go get him. But when he stabbed Adam at the end of the last episode, he's not dead. That's a cliffhanger. It's a Jon Snow. He's going to be
Trigger
back.
warning, you're wrong. Kevin Smith has said she never wields the sword of power, even in the future episodes. What he said. Although maybe you can't trust him anymore. I don't know. I don't
That could
care.
be another whole.
I
whole
thought
trailer thing.
before I actually saw the show, I'm like, what are people all outraged about? And I'm like, I thought that's where it was going, and I would have been okay with it. But he said that she's not going to have the sword of power. I don't know. Even if she does, if the story's good, I'll still enjoy it.
Okay, guess what? She had a sword of power, and who did she hand it to at the end of the series?
Well, I mean, the full sword of power. She didn't have it. Well, she had it on a wrap. She had a wrap. She didn't wield the sword of power.
I know,
Like,
and she's not going to. I mean, that's like the sorceress wielding it. I mean, her storyline, her arc, guys, is to become the next sorceress. I don't understand why people have such a hard time grasping this. That's not something new. That's always been around, except for the mini comic. That's always been a thing in the other series and comic books, and it's got even more since then. And the other thing that people I don't get, do you realize they took these very, very the 2002 series was actually really good. I did like it.
Yeah, I have it on DVD. It's actually worth hundreds of dollars.
But when you talk about the first,
yeah.
because a lot of people didn't see it or remember that, okay? But if you compare just the original 80 series, this one, the characters are not one-dimensional, yo. They are so fleshed out, and they have so much history and so much emotion between all these characters, and it's amazing. And even Orko, dude, Orko was a joke. Orko was nothing but comic relief and a joke in the original one. That's all he was. They made him Gandalf, yo. He's coming back. He's going to be Orko the White. I'm telling you. He's going to be Orko the White. He's going to come back, okay, from Trala, and he's going to be Orko the White. That's what's going to
Hey,
happen.
Snow Dub.
What's up, Max?
Isn't Masters of the Universe amazing?
No, I haven't watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it.
No. Why would
There's no
I
puppets in
watch
there.
that garbage?
Why? How do you know it's garbage if you didn't watch it? You're going all mega hater. 42.
Well, because I've seen enough, of the 10,000 freaking videos that come across my timeline. I know exactly what happens in it. I was a kid when He-Man was out. I bought the action figures.
Okay.
We didn't buy Tila. We didn't buy Evil Lynn. We didn't like those characters. We didn't care about those characters. We never did. We were all about the He-Man, all about the gravitas, the machismo, the badass bulky man kicking butt against the monsters. That's what
still
we
in
cared
there?
about.
Well,
So
but
I totally
still-
understand why there's so many people upset
Right.
about this. There's
He's
a
coming
reason
back.
for it. It makes sense.
Max, they were just all scared to come out of the closet because they realized that they liked buff men toys, and they were
Manga, you're still in the
scared to come
closet,
out.
bro. Just stop.
You wish.
Just stop.
All right, let's be nice to each other.
We are.
But Snow, you didn't watch it yet.
I have no inclination to. I go to watch He-Man, and when I hear you're going to kill him off twice in the first episode,
Who would you
no
take
thanks.
in the battle? The one on the left or the one on the right?
One on the left. Because you look good while
Yeah.
I'm kicking ass.
Oh, no.
Very simple.
Well, so
I mean, that you put her in the basket. Yeah.
I do want to ask. I think a fair question is, and this reflects all around, is that do you think maybe did you or your friends buy Princess Leia toys if you bought Star Wars?
It was the last toy we bought.
Sure.
Angus.
No, sure.
Last
Like,
one. Yeah.
especially the whole.
It was always
trilogy,
the men
she kinda
first.
sideline. But yeah,
Right.
you were interested, but you didn't want Teela or Evelyn because Evelyn's bad.
Right.
Teela
The better
is
question is
a
this:
side character. But
why?
if they
No.
developed
Here's
her,
the better
would you
question:
want her?
why did you not want to buy? Why did you not want those toys? Just
Because we
explain
were kids and we didn't care
That's not an
about
answer.
girls. We didn't care.
Whoa.
We weren't even in puberty yet, Lunga.
Exposed.
We didn't care.
Whoa.
We were
Who the
all
hell
about
says you
the
buy
men
toys
and
because of sex? We're not
because
talking
we
about
don't
sex
care
here.
because we're boys. You don't.
It
You
doesn't-
understand? Maybe you don't understand that. Maybe you were raised in a dress or something. I don't know. But as boys,
Right.
growing
Okay.
up,
Let's start the ad hominems. That's
as
a great
boys
way to do
growing
stuff.
up, we liked boy toys,
yeah.
and we
Here-
didn't buy
here-
the Evil Lyn.
Right,
We didn't
right.
buy Tila. We didn't buy April O'Neil with
Right,
the Ninja
right.
Turtles. We didn't
Now-
care.
Right. But why don't you say why? Because you just said it to me. Maybe you grew up in a dress. So say why. Why do you think you didn't want those toys? Because what would that make you think you looked like?
We didn't care, Lunga. That's what you're not understanding.
Apparently,
We did
I wear a
not
dress if I
care.
bought those toys. So
Well, that's
say
because you're
it.
Lunga.
Just say it.
That's because
no,
of
no,
who
no.
you are.
Just say
and
why.
your cuck attitude.
You keep saying we
Oh,
didn't
no.
care.
Hey, man.
No, you kept
The,
saying we didn't care. Why
why-
didn't you
because
care?
us boys bought the action figures. When we got together to bring our action figures together, ain't nobody had a Tila doll. Nobody
Okay,
had an Evil Lyn doll. We
right.
all had Skeletor and He-Man and Beast-Man and Man-at-Arms.
Cool. Great.
Man.
Great.
That's what we
the
bought.
question. Great. The question wasn't which toys did you have. That wasn't the question. That's what you've been answering over and over again.
Okay, what's the
Why
question?
did you not care about the girls' figures? Why?
Because we are boys. And it was a boy cartoon. Cool. They had a couple females in it. Great. We didn't care about them. They
Why?
weren't.
that's
We
a
didn't
problem.
tune in to watch Tila. We didn't.
Why?
Well, then why do you care?
They weren't. They're
Because
not
we're
Barbie dolls. They're not
boys,
Barbie dolls.
Lunga.
They're not Barbie dolls. They're not Barbie
Male.
dolls. No.
Well,
No, they're not Barbie
It's
dolls.
There's
It's called being a boy, Lunga.
I have-
Right.
You
No,
I
don't
no,
understand
no.
that?
Okay, just being a boy means you only have male figures. That's it.
No,
'Cause
I
why?
didn't say that. I just said boys tend to enjoy boy stuff. Period.
Sure.
That's all there is to it.
Sure. And if you have
wanna
20
make it into
male
something that
figures,
it's not. You
No,
want
no,
to
if
make
you
it
have
into something
20
that it's not.
no. I'm asking you a question
do.
that you're not
trying
answering.
You're trying to twist
if you
this
have,
around like you're like I'm
No.
some kind of sexist because I
No,
didn't
I'm
go
not.
buy a Tila toy. Get the
I'm
hell
not.
out of here, dude.
No,
I'm
Matt,
asking you.
please.
I'm asking you a fucking
Please.
question that you are refusing
You
to
are
answer
trying
because
to
you.
twist it. No, you're trying to
No,
twist
I'm
it
not.
around. I've
If
given
I'm
you the
asking you a
answer
question.
5 times, Lunga.
No. You said
Five
we didn't
times
care
now, I'm
about
giving you the
girl
answer,
figures.
and you keep coming back with the same
No.
stupid question.
No.
Next
All you
question,
kept saying
Max.
to me is
Next
you
question,
don't
Max.
care about the
All right,
girl
Next
figures.
question, Max.
Let's just move on.
Next question.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
But
let's.
Let's move on.
I
Yeah,
have
sure.
some
Let's move
proof-
on.
I have
Because Snow has
proof-
dresses to buy for himself.
I have proof.
Ooh,
that
okay, good one.
I
Use my
have
own joke
proof-
against me.
I have.
So smooth.
All right.
Well, smooth
This is
because
a love fest in here. Thank you, everybody, for being so lovely.
I can't believe
tonight.
you even got this guy on your channel, Max.
I have everyone on my channel right now.
Same guy trying to
I have-
expose you. Yeah, great.
I have some proof that He-Man was always woke.
Oh shit.
So this is He-Man.
That's
is
Prince
my-
Adam. Not
Yeah.
He-Man.
Okay, that's
Oh,
one thing
sorry.
I'll say. is-
did you
No,
enjoy
it's
your Prince Adam toy with his pink and lavender Snow?
We
So this
didn't
is why
look
I
at
like-
colors, Lunga. We didn't care.
Oh, you didn't care, right?
No,
okay.
we didn't care what color shirt he had on. We didn't care.
Sure.
Well, He-Man's gonna
We
be
didn't.
back. Don't worry, everyone.
We don't care about color as much as you want to think that
I
these
don't
other
want-
people
I-
that you disagree with.
Who
care about
is
color.
trying to create a
We don't.
narrative? Who is trying to create a narrative?
Oh, yeah, okay. Just look at your
Well,
Twitter.
you
Well,
are
Snow,
trying to create a narrative.
the reason I-
You're bad at this,
The re-
dude. You're
the
bad at
reason-
this. You're
the reason
horrible.
I
Okay.
invited Longa
Oh,
on
you're
is
so
he
smart
knows a
and
lot
wise.
about he knows a lot about He-Man. I didn't want to battle tonight. I don't want.
I grew up.
I didn't either, but he
watching
came
the
in here
show,
hot.
Max.
That
I
was the whole
bought
point he wanted to do.
toys as a child, Max.
Okay,
I
that's
have
great.
a relevance.
The toys, right?
I have a relevant to this discussion. I do.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Because you played with all your little boy
Because I grew
toys,
up
all your
back
men.
then, Lunga. Yeah.
Played with all the
I
little
don't-
men
I don't-
toys.
I don't
Oh,
wanna
you're
game-
so funny. Look at you go.
I don't
Yeah,
want to gang
Longa.
up on Snow either, but I have a genuine question. If you didn't care about her figure then, why do you care about the way she looks now? And that's the reason you're not watching the show.
What? No. What?
Because
When
you
did
said-
I say I care about her looks? Again, let me
You said
let me
I've
say
seen
it again.
You said I've seen enough because He-Man is in the
Yes,
show.
because He-Man's not in the show. I tune
He
in to
is in
watch
the show.
He-Man. No, he's not. For what?
And he-
10 minutes?
Right.
Okay.
You just said it. You just said it. I don't tune in to see the girls. I tune in to see He-Man. As a grown man, you just said that, bro.
And what's your point?
And Max's
Lunga?
question makes sense. You said, I didn't care about that. You apparently did. You
What?
haven't grown up. You still think the same way you did as a child.
Okay, no, I feel the same way about He-Man as I did as a child. Yes.
Right. You still want
Right.
to see overly muscled
Okay.
men. That's all you want to see still as an adult.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, now you're trying to turn it into something homophobic. Oh, okay.
No.
This is about a cartoon, moron.
I understand, but
Obviously
you still haven't
not.
answered the question. You didn't
Obviously
care about
not.
Tila then. You
Maybe
don't care about
they
her
were
now.
trying to
I
make
don't care about Tila. No.
Maybe they're trying to make Tila so someone would actually buy the action figures because no one, like you were saying, not many people bought them.
No, I guarantee you it's going to fail. And the action figures will not sell because boys don't buy female
think
action figures.
I
It's
think
just
But you
a
really
fact of
care
life.
about Cara Dune, don't you?
Well, maybe-
She's such an important figure in The Mandalorian. You care
What
about
does
her so
Cara
much.
Dune have to do with this? And I didn't tune into The Mandalorian to watch Cara Dune. I tuned into The Mandalorian to watch The Mandalorian, Lunga. Nice
All
try.
right, but you're
Nice
sure
try.
mad she's not on the show
Nice
no more, aren't
try.
you?
It
Sure, man,
wasn't
she's
the
not
Cara
on the
Dune
show no
show,
more.
was it, Lunga? It wasn't her coming in and taking over the whole show,
yeah.
was it, Lunga?
Let's
No,
pretend
it wasn't.
you haven't been
No, they didn't kill off
sucking her
Mandalorian in the
asshole
first episode.
forever. Right.
Listen to you. Oh, now you got to get vulgar. Oh, aren't you?
I gotta get vulgar?
Special.
You have literally
You're a
told me.
special one.
You literally told me
You're a
I wear a
special
dress. You
Yeah,
told
you're
me
still not.
really.
You're still hurting over that
Oh
rap
my
song
God.
where I destroyed you in rap. That's why.
right.
That's
you,
why
you
you're
wish.
hurting.
You
I
wish
get
you
it.
destroyed.
Lost
You're still in
control.
pain over that. It hurts.
Bro. I never
Yeah,
did a
no,
puppet,
it's cool,
and I
it's
fucking
cool.
made you look like an idiot.
You can lay down and cry for a while, Lunga. It's okay. We all laughed about
I
it.
really want to.
We all
Sorry, why don't
realize
you go
you
cry about
suck.
your?
You
I
can't
have my
rap.
family. I
And
have my family.
I had to
People love
destroy
me.
you
So
with my
I'm not worried about it.
lyricism.
I don't have to make
it
videos
hurts.
crying that family members
It's
don't talk to me
painful.
anymore.
I get it.
Oh,
I get it. It's
no,
painful.
Come
That's
on,
why you
Lunga,
never
that
made a
was
comeback
low.
video, Lunga.
Don't say that.
Why you never made a
That's
comeback.
low? Really? What has he
Yeah,
said about me, Max?
I don't want to talk
What has
about
he said about me, Max?
families,
What has he
though.
said about me, Max?
Destroyed.
What has he said about me, Max?
Okay,
Right?
I'm if he said something about your family, I don't like that either.
Yeah, he did.
Uh,
Yeah, Lunga brought up my sister.
No,
He's a
I
piece of
don't want
trash.
to. I don't want to go there, please.
Oh,
I
go
don't.
cry, Snow. Go cry, Snow.
Why don't you go
cry.
back to testify?
Go cry, Snow.
How
Go
come you
cry,
didn't
Snow.
testify
Let's
to
not
everybody?
even
Go
bring
cry,
up his
Snow.
name. Let's
Go
not
back
bring
to
up.
Go cry,
testify.
Snow.
Go
Go
back to
cry.
testify.
Can we
Hey,
move
go
on?
cry.
to
Go back
Topic,
to
guys.
testify.
Topic.
Yeah, no,
Continue,
Continue,
no.
Max. Next topic, Max. Next topic.
Okay. All right. So I was going to talk about the stuff that I saw on your show about the Ahsoka revealing Ezra and Thrawn castings. That's exciting. I hope that it's right. I'm kind of distracted now, though. But here's a cool one that Snow, I think you'll be aboard for. I think you'll like this one. And I like everyone here. I don't want us to fight. I honestly don't. Let's bring this up, though. New Predator movie. Although there's some that might be upset that they're revisiting that well, but I really like Dan Trachtenberg. I think he's done a lot of great projects, and they're preparing it to The Revenant. Are you up for another round of Predator, or you think it's too much? Snow, if you want to comment first, are you up for another Predator property?
Wait. Scroll down.
Where
If they do it right, yeah, of course. I'd love to see a good
Oh,
Predator movie.
I was
I
just
mean,
talking about Tim Cloverfield.
we haven't had a real good Predator movie, in my opinion, since maybe the second one, but definitely the first one. I mean, the first one's a classic.
Mhm.
Second one was okay. I didn't like the new Predator movies. I didn't like the Predator versus Alien movies. I thought they were kind of just smashed together for basically trying to make some money by putting two famous characters together. And the plot was real jagged at most of those movies were just not that good. So I would love to see a great Predator movie and bring back Arnold, and Danny Glover.
I
they're
don't
both
think
capable.
that's possible because I'm assuming. I think I should have read the whole article, but I think it's like a prequel, like his first visit to Earth, the Predator.
Okay,
So knowing
prequels don't really usually do well, Max. You know that. I mean,
No,
once in a while,
if it's done right, though, I think Dan Trachtenberg I've followed him since Attack of the Show. He's one of us. He started out. He went to film school while he was being a video game and movie reviewer. So he actually, instead of just critiquing, he actually put his money where his mouth is. Went to school and starts, doing films, and then he kind of stopped reviewing films because he says at the end of his run, where he did reviews, he said it's kind of awkward to criticize where I'm trying to get into the industry. It's kind of and be genuine with my reviews. It's kind of hard. I can get that angle, but everything he's done, 10 Cloverfield Lane, I love that movie. I would have loved the direct sequel to Cloverfield, the first one, but that was the best of all the other Cloverfield. It was very interesting. Longa and then Angus and then Sean, if you're still there, you can add in too. Are you excited about a new Predator property, or do you think it's run its course? Do you have any input on Dan Trachtenberg manga? Do you know about him, or does this?
Yeah, I wasn't. I liked the first. I mean, I liked the first Predator movie. It was a fun movie, for the era it was made in, and this and that. But I was never a big Predator fan, if you will. I watched some of the other movies. They were crappy. They weren't good. The first one was the only one that was really interesting at all for me. So I really have no stake in them making another Predator movie. It's like, okay, sure, whatever.
It has to really grab your attention then if it's
yeah. I mean, I'd be more interested in Aliens more than the Aliens universe more than Predator. But it's just like mainly because at least like the Aliens universe, at least it had some kind of feeling of continuity, some kind of, and they did try, people weren't happy with some of those the new ones. They did try to flesh out the world and make it more, whereas Predator just felt kind of episodic. There wasn't really much growth. It was just like a horror, kind of like a horror movie where it's like, oh, monster's gonna do this now. Oh, now monster's gonna do this to different people. Oh, monster's gonna do this again to different people. It didn't feel like there was a lot of lore going there unless you're deep into it and you read like the comic books and all this stuff where obviously all that stuff was fleshed out. But the movies themselves, it really wasn't much, so it didn't really grab me.
All right. Sean, are you still there? I'm saying this is Sean's first live stream. It's pretty
wow.
Sean, are you still okay, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
Okay, what's your thoughts on the Predator? And then we'll get Angus. Angus always goes last. We can all agree on that, right?
Because I'm black.
That's why. No.
Well, I know. Yeah. I never really grew up watching Aliens or Predators, but I will say Alien versus Predator was a pretty interesting movie. I enjoyed. Watched it several times. Back in the day. Them doing a prequel, I mean, hey, why not? As long as they get the right people, they all have track records of success, and they know what they're doing. They're hiring the best, and nothing wrong with just having, an interesting movie that everyone can enjoy instead of them pandering.
Okay, cool. Angus, and then I have an interesting story about this property too that I know of because I follow Dan Trachtenberg. So Angus, go, and then I'll let you know what's very interesting about this project.
Yeah, not like a diehard Predator fan. If any, like Alien is my go-to. Like that's my favorite alien form in movies, especially like behind the scenes, like everything. That's one of those foundational franchises for me. Being in like nerd talk, love the art of Giger, etc. And with Predator, I like the first three movies, 1, 2, and 3, probably in that order. Number 1 got panned by critics, but over time, it's kind of like a diehard action sci-fi. It's really gotten its praise finally, and it's crazy where it could have went with I think Van Damme in a suit instead of the black guy who did Harry and the Hendersons. Predator 4 I was really excited about, especially the director Shane Black having been involved with the first film, doing edits on the script and everything, and getting roped in the first kill in the movie. Total letdown, not even because of PG-13, just like the narrative was idiotic. If you have any inkling of scientific knowledge or interest as a hobby, the whole plot and the takeaway of like, oh, autism's like a evolutionary breakthrough for us possibly. It's like, no, it's not. It's detrimental to apes like us. Communication's key. So just everything about that was just really bad, despite some cool initial concepts. With Disney running this, being PG-13, it sounds bad given some of the other things they've done. Like, Star Wars is fresh. I do like Loki, but generally the Marvel universe is going downhill. So I want new stuff. I saw old yesterday. I want fresh things, so I'm just kind of like leave it alone.
Fresh.
It was a product of its time. It had a couple people come in and add things that were cool, but it's kind of done.
Well, this is more of a
the director
scenario.
Sounds cool though.
Yeah, the director more is a scenario of a thing he wanted to do and presented it to the company that owned the property instead of let's just make a sequel or a reboot. And he wanted to not let people know it was a Predator film. He wanted to release a trailer, but it got leaked that it is a Predator project. He's like, he admitted it. He's like, I did not want people to find out this way. I had a big marketing plan to have people not do spoilers, like sort of like when people watched Split and they realized it was on the Unbreakable universe, so similar to that. He had this whole plan to market it. People did not know it was going to be a Predator film, and it was the origin. So that would have been amazing to me to hear the buzz of people. You ought to see this movie, whatever it was going to be called. That was his. Does that intrigue you at all, Snowdub or Lunga? And I also want to apologize, Snowdub. I haven't had him on the show in a while, too. And Lunga and Angus. And,
you don't owe me an apology, Max. You're good.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
But
okay.
what does that intrigue you that he was going to go that route, Snow? That he was he thought of the property and he approached the studio and he had grand plans for it.
Yeah, it makes me sad sometimes. Not to get too off topic here, but I think his name's Bloomkamp.
Oh yes,
he was supposed to do an Alien 3, kind of that picks up after 2, and we've seen so much new information come out about that. And oh my God, it looked amazing, Max. I mean, I'd love to see that movie get made. So there's something to say for somebody who comes in with some fresh ideas that want to bring something new to the franchise, but still pay homage to the old characters. That's the way to do it, and kind of like the new Ghostbusters. I think that's the kind of movie we're going to get, where they bring something new, fresh, but they still pay homage to the old characters. And I'll call it right now. Ghostbusters is going to be a slam dunk.
Oh
that
yes,
gonna make money.
that trailer looks amazing. I love the Ghostbusters Afterlife. I like that someone from the original cast is no longer with us, and that you feel the presence of that character all in the trailer of his family too. Lunga, what's your thoughts on that? Now that you have some backstory to Trachtenberg's take that what he wanted to do, would that have been more intriguing to you if you didn't even know?
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty cool. Like I said, I did like Aliens better than Predator stuff. So I mean that would be pretty cool to see. But there's a lot of things that coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's just like the whole the Colin Trevorrow script, for Star Wars. It's like
it sounds so much better.
Yeah, and it was. It did feel like this could have been better, but we don't know until it's actually on the screen. That's the thing. We don't know until it goes through the editing process, after the studio stops sticking its nose in, and all this other stuff. I mean, like what you see on paper, even though it sounds cool, may not end up being that once it gets there.
That's true.
So yeah. To add to your point, Lunga, me and Rookie were going through films he hasn't seen, and we watched Wall-E. I've told him this is an amazing movie, even though it's a cartoon. It's
Wall-E,
and what I did to research for the stream was I watched all the behind the scenes stuff, and like what you're talking about, like what's on paper versus what's on screen. Like the core concept of Wall-E, his design and his function was always at the beginning, but the story around him, the 2/3 after the intro, completely different. It's a miracle how that movie turned out compared to where they started. So yeah, the editing room and the writer's room and stuff, like those are very key to some of these cool concepts.
I agree with that. Wall-E was amazing. Yep.
If people really want to see how studios, and this is why I say don't always go after the creative person. If people really want to see how studios could destroy a movie, just go watch the movies that made us, the new series that came on Netflix.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah. Because they got all these great movies that we all love. A lot of them are 80s movies, obviously. Amazing movies like Back to the Future and Ghostbusters and stuff. And you can see where the studios almost could have destroyed these movies if they had their way. The studios are all about money. That's all they care about. It's just money. They don't care about the creative's vision. They don't care about how the creative does anything. That's why the whole Snyder thing is it's nothing new, guys. This happens everywhere.
It was one of the most egregious cases, though. The Snyder, it was pretty messed up based on his family event.
Yeah, they used
right. It was underhanded, but they're studios, dude. Do you think they care? They don't care.
Sean,
instead of facts don't care about your feelings, money don't care about your feelings. That's how they look at it.
Well, I want to also now probably the final topic for tonight, talking about Netflix and them getting talent and things moving. Things are just moving at Netflix. They maybe spend too much money on properties. They're way in debt, but they keep spending, and that's probably where you would want to go. Sean, here's something you've been retweeting, which I'm extremely happy about. I want to see a Bright sequel. I don't think it's the most amazing thing in the world, but Ayer is now Snyder's with Netflix. Ayer is definitely looking at Netflix. I don't think WB's going to hire Ayer back either. And unfortunately, the cut may not happen. I want it to happen, but I just don't know. But this is where it's at. And then I have another article. So we'll show this first. And then I have another article about Christopher Nolan is now considering Netflix. If that's accurate, if it's fake news, it's fake news. But if it's accurate,
Max, I was going to say with the Suicide Squad's Ayer, don't expect that to happen because I saw some. Apparently, the critics' Rotten Tomatoes for Suicide Squad is like 98.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
high.
so
It was
highest for
100. It
DC.
was 100 for a little while.
I don't know what that was. All right. So what do you think about this? Is this clickbait, or do you think he might actually be considered? Because we know he's salty with WB. Netflix might really have a plan for theatrical releases now too. A stronger plan. I know most of it's relying on streaming, but if they get Nolan, they have to have a strong plan. Do you think this could happen? And then how would WB respond? That's a lot.
Wait. What was that? What was that article? What does it show?
That Christopher Nolan is considering Netflix too, because
what was the references on that? Where are they getting this information from?
Oh, it's Joe Blow. I didn't check the references.
Yeah,
I didn't do a lot of research on it long enough.
Christopher Nolan is not going to Netflix. This guy is a theater guy. He was fighting for theaters.
Right.
I would normally agree with Lunga on this, but since Scorsese made a movie for Netflix, anything's possible at this point. You know what I mean? Anything.
But they'd have to have a smart theater plan to incorporate if Christopher Nolan goes on board. There's no way he's just going to go directly to streaming. That's what I meant. Like all those rumors about Netflix might buy theater chains, smaller theater chains. They've dabbled in showing some of their titles the first couple weeks, but they'd have to have a stronger plan if it's accurate. But your take right now, Lunga, is probably clickbait.
Yeah, most likely. That's what
I'm looking at Collider. They're saying something about this.
Okay.
Well, it's a trade, so
yeah, that's true. So they covered it too.
Yeah, the Netflix boss. This is IndieWire saying he says he's going to do everything he can to get Chris Nolan's next movie. Scott's
right. I mean, we do got to remember the stuff leaks are let out like that way purposely to try to like sway people.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
if they're trying to get Christopher Nolan and they're talking to his agents and this and that, they do that to see what the people's reactions are, and then they could say, "Oh, look, you see, people really want you to do this. It's gonna be a lot of demand, and so it's a lot of times it's an op just to get attention on it.
Yeah, it's like Michael Jackson and the Elephant Man. He put that out.
So, Sean, you're excited about Bright 2. Do you think all these people, all these directors, the talent's going to Netflix?
Well, watching the first film, I was very well impressed with the imagination that that David Ayer provided for this film. There's definitely was room for potential. The writing wasn't so strong, but
right, I agree.
But I was definitely rooting for them to finally make a sequel happen. And I'm very happy that they're finally in talks of making a sequel possible. With Netflix, because of them, I definitely fell in love with the binge culture, watching every episode until they're all completely aired. But the reactions these past few months have been very questionable. I'm not really surprised if we happen to discover there might be some. Well, I don't want to harm your channel, but I'm just going to say the P word. With the film Cuties act controversy that happened. I'm honestly, I'm quite disappointed. What's been going on, especially with the marketing team.
No, I really think they should. Yeah, for sure, they should have. Some people in the business of Netflix should have really alarmed should have went off on that. That's just a bad look.
A very bad look. It's just
they lost a bunch of subscribers too.
I think we have to be really careful about following other people just because they allowed that. Within.
But it's not a surprise that they don't exist. It's not a surprise that there hasn't when it comes to bringing new talent to the industry, that there's not a story that's or at least certain events that might come up mysteriously. And look, I'm very I'm very happy with the properties I've seen on Netflix. They've really
I do
impressed me more than once.
This is a funny comment from Phoenix Night Flame, because I want to say some hypocrisy on there. Does everyone even talk about this? I've forgotten the movie. That trended, so everyone complained about it. They watched it too. I didn't even watch it.
That's Daddy Lunga's favorite movie.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, you're gonna keep that up because
I had to. Lunga, I had to. It was too.
Yeah, no. But
come on, I had to do it.
Here's the thing.
Can I just have that one? Can you just let me have that one?
No, really, honestly,
just that one. That's it.
I'll tell you.
No.
That's just that. And I'll tell you. No. I'll tell you why. Because the reason why you and me started having beef is because some idiot told you that when every video I have shows that I do not like that fucking shit.
Oh boy,
it's all good, Lunga. It's all good.
No, it's not all good. You're a fucking asshole.
Oh boy. All right. So
You're a fucking asshole. You've tried slandering me with that shit over and over again, and I'm not going to just take it.
For bringing up my sister. Keep my sister.
No. Here's the thing, bro. I didn't bring up your sister. You've been talking that shit about me for the past 6 months, you jackass. You've been saying that. Really? Right. No. It was you, dummy. I didn't say shit to you for a year. When I made that fucking video is after I finally fucking got tired of your shit. You have been spreading that nonsense, which was an utter fucking lie.
This is a perfect opportunity to show. I was actually trying to do a segment on my show called something positive.
Sorry for this one.
No. So perfect segue into something positive. This is what I was going to... Oh, God damn it. Contra returns. This is video game related. I'm not going to share the video, but go check it out. They are remaking the original arcade game. And I love Contra. Talking about He-Man, hell yeah. So that's a great thing. I had something else too, but I completely lost my train of thought because of conversation.
My bad.
It's more gaming related. Xbox games with gold, Darksider, Ukulele, Lost Planet 3, and Mark of the Wolves. I've been trying to save money, so I'm getting all those games free with my Game Pass. And wow, Zeno is asking for more Lunga. Be nice to Snow though too, Zeno.
Zeno is just mad. He hasn't been laid since the 90s. What a little crybaby that guy is.
No, Echo Base, I didn't want a Royal Rumble. I just wanted to talk about Masters of the Universe. I guess I asked.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Someone wants to say hi.
Okay.
Max, we miss you.
I miss you too. It's great to hear your voice.
I'm going to bed, so I came down to interrupt you guys.
Oh, that's great. Tell all the boys to stay under control. Please help me. Help me. Help me.
You have a mute button, Max. You can control this shit.
Usually he's not very good at that.
Yeah.
He's more of a support character anyways, Max.
Okay. All right. Well,
night, Max.
Go Lunga. Good night.
Good night, baby.
That was nice. Now my dogs are losing control. So
I appreciate. She wanted to say hi. So.
Oh, I appreciate that. It has been a while. Listen, I'm not. I don't want to go in the craziness. I just like talking to people, and you know what? I don't anything in the past, and I just want everyone to talk to everyone. That's always what it's been about. So. I know things,
Max, me and Lunga still follow each other on Twitter. So as much as we talk shit to each other, we still have the mutual respect.
I don't want to call it mutual respect. That's just both of us are too fucking hard-headed to be the first one to unfollow.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I think we can take a lesson from The Last Jedi in this.
I mean, Angus is on... Can we
it's like the first who unfollows is a bitch. And we're not...
It's never going to happen.
Can we all address that Angus is here and he is not the problem? Wow, Angus.
Angus is really never the problem. I mean,
really?
even though me and Angus haven't talked in a while, we never really had a blow up. It was just,
Yeah,
I think the most important question though is for Sean. Sean, do you think you'll come back on my show?
Yeah, definitely in the near future. I wouldn't mind. Just got some, I got some priorities straight. I'm trying to work out. That's all.
I get that. Keep your
You got some
priorities
He-Man
in
toys
check.
coming in?
Oh no, not I have no time for action figures.
I will
No,
admit,
no.
I will admit one thing. I like Tila in the show, but if I was gonna buy an action figure, I might go for the old Tila. I don't know. No, that is just wrong, Zeno. You've said a lot of things. I don't know about that at all.
Yeah,
The
I
title
gotta
of the title of the stream is Kevin Smith did nothing wrong. I don't know if I would title my video about that for Angus.
I've known Angus for a long time.
We're talking about Orko and stuff. I gotta say, there's this idea that like Smith makes Orko better than the old show. It's like him and Cringer. I'm like, oh, he's Cringer for a reason. Like, screw that fucking cat when he's not transformed, and screw Orko. Like he's grating in this show, so I can't imagine the old one.
Well, it was so emotional with Orko,
It was,
and he was just
dude, he
a
was
joke
heart,
before,
man.
and they
He was
addressed
the
it.
heart.
Yeah, it was so powerful. My wife was gonna cry.
I guess we got to get into the lore. We got to get into the lore again, okay? Here's the thing you guys remember. Orko is Trollan, okay? And his race are like the most powerful magic users in the universe, okay? And not only that, they created the Orb of Power, which is what powers the sword, which we saw in the series. And the fact that he, in the original show, when he came here, it was something about how when he came to Eternia, not being on Tralla, it messed with his magic, and that's why he was such a bad magic user, and that was in the original show. But they've changed stuff out in the comic book. So he's been kind of a sad character because he is supposed to be a good magic user. He's supposed to be powerful, but it just doesn't work out for him. So, he kind of crafted this jester kind of thing to fit in because he figured what am I if I can't do my magic? So he did that to fit in. So he's kind of a sentimental character, if you will. So there's a history there with him. So it actually makes sense if you know the lore. So
Yeah, that's great.
I'm Max,
Yeah.
I actually came on here to agree with you before I started having to defend Cara Dune and masculinity and all this shit. But
All right.
I actually came on here to agree with you that I'm actually on a little vacation from YouTube right now. I haven't been uploading stuff for a couple weeks.
I didn't know if that was a joke or for real. Okay.
No, Jolly's getting a makeover. No big deal. But yeah.
Is Jolly going woke then?
He's gonna get the Tila haircut.
You gonna get the
right.
Masters of the Universe you should
The
that would be actually
patriotic
fun.
puppet? I don't think so, Max. Nice try. But no, I agree with you on the fact that as I've been kind of just been a casual YouTube viewer now for the last week or so, my God, my timeline has filled up with so much He-Man, wham, freaking videos. I mean, talk about, I totally get
It's money. It's funny.
it's ridiculous. And, make your one hit piece or whatever and move on. I get it. But there's
Well, that's a
some of these
criticism
channels,
for me too, though. Yeah.
4 or 5 hour streams crying about this shit. And it's ridiculous. So I totally agree with you on that.
Snow put people in check, even though he agrees with them. Like, alpha dogs don't need to whine for 4 hours about Tila.
Really?
That's not an alpha dog.
Let it go. Yeah,
we can agree on that, right? We can all agree on that.
It's ridiculous. The concept. I mean, I understand you're trying to get your clicks. I understand you're trying to, go with the algorithm and all that. I get it.
Cancel Angus. I like Cara Dune.
No.
Yeah, cancel Angus.
She's a side character, and then in season 2 she had like nothing to offer.
They
minimized her.
That might
have
been because of stuff with her, social media already. I don't
before
know.
that was just because of Rangers of the New Republic, where it's like,
shoving
her out, but she's gonna get her own series that might tie in, and now that's like on hiatus for the time being. But yeah, I just didn't like her. Like, she's not bad, but like, she actually has a bit of acting in the first season, and then it's very minimal second season. So it's like I haven't gotten enough to like invest in her. So it's like I can support Gina Carano and like the kind of two-facedness with Disney and their reasoning, but I'm not going to simp for this fucking mediocre character.
This was the other thing I had for good news of the day. I actually watched Turner and Hooch. I'm trying to get more out of my streaming service, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. And I watched it, and I had fun. I love Hooch. It's fun. It's still got some action. I was like, this is Disney Plus, but yeah.
Is it as funny without Tom
it's
Hanks?
not. No, it's not as good as Tom Hanks. And talk about the character. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but people might have some issues about how they reference his character. That's all I'm going to say. But,
What do you mean? What do they say
Are we
about
really
Tom
gonna
Hanks'
get in
character?
arguments about Turner and fucking Hooch? No one cares about this goddamn movie.
Oh God, I don't know. Who
Seriously?
Oh my god.
I'm trying to.
No.
I'm not.
Charlie's
no.
a little bitch, okay?
Oh
No.
Imitation's a form of flattery.
Yes, it is.
No, right, really? Because nobody's done fucking puppets? He's imitating fucking Henson. Are you serious? Puppets are a thing, bro. It's like that Snowden invented them. Jesus.
I invented the patriotic puppet.
I know how to unmute. I can unmute.
I'm trying to end the show. Don't get me demonetized right at the end, Lunga. Please.
I thought that puppet turned into Testifies cocksuck.
Oh God.
First of all, Jeff never liked Testify #1. Okay.
All right, I'm ending the show. Turner and Hooch was supposed to be a positive note to end on, not. Okay, can we behave, please? I'm trying to end the show.
Sorry.
There's accusations of I don't know what he's saying. I'm not highlighting.
I'm being censored.
Yeah, that's true. You are being censored because I wanted this to be a positive part of the show.
I will say Puppet Lives Matter, Max. Puppet Lives
No,
Matter.
this is the one time I actually have to agree with him. Puppet phobe.
Yeah, he is a puppet phobe. I'll agree with that.
All right, fine. I'm gonna be called it. I'll do it. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Everyone.